So here I have my profile and my circle flat. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of these by triple clicking, holding the shift key and triple clicking the other piece. And then I'm going to pull a copy of both of these by clicking the option key and sliding it over a little bit away from the other one, because this is what I'm going to use to create my three-dimensional shapes that I'm going to assemble. You'll notice that we lost the center point for this socket area. So I'm just going to select the edge again, and I'm going to say find center again. That will give me the center. The first thing I'm going to do is pull these up 1/8 of an inch, which is the thickness of our materials. Now, one of the great things about SketchUp is you're going to use the push-pull tool. You're going to mouse over the surface so that it highlights this blue color. You're going to click, and then you're going to pull up and type in 1/8 and then quotes for inches and click enter. Then you don't have to do anything, because SketchUp remembers you can come over to the profile piece and double click that, and it will also raise it up 1/8 of an inch. Before I assemble this, you'll notice that they're not grouped, and I want these to be grouped because if they're not, if I go to move this to here, and I'll just kind of give you an example, if I triple click this and then I move it over here to the circle and then I click somewhere else, now if I go to click it, it's cut off. And so we don't want that. And to prevent it, we're going to group both or one of these. But in this case, I'm just going to do the profile shape here. And the way to do that is to triple click the surface and just double check, go underneath, make sure you get that bottom surface. Then you're going to right click it and you're going to say make group. Now I need to rotate this so that it's straight up and down. And the way to do that is to select it so you get that box. That way you also know that it's grouped. If you see this box, you know that the piece is grouped. And if you need to go in and edit it, you just have to double click and then you'll get this dotted line, and that lets you know you're in edit mode. But right now we don't want that, so I'm going to click outside of it to close it. I'm going to select it. Then I'm going to take my rotate tool and I'm going to mouse along the edge. Now you might remember this from when we did the square. I'm going to make it so that my rotate tool snaps onto the green or the red axes, because I want to move this straight up and down. I can use my right arrow tool for the red axes. I can use my left arrow tool for the green axes. And I can use my up arrow on the keyboard for the blue axes. In this case, I want it to be the red. So I'm going to click here in the corner. I'm going to pull out the arm along the green axis. If you don't see this, there might be something wrong with your profile piece. Then I'm going to click again, and I'm just going to rotate that up 90 degrees. And once I see that 90 in the corner there, I'm going to click OK, and then that shows me that this is rotated. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this piece probably over to here. When I move this, I'm going to want to put this back corner into this corner here. To do that, I'm going to take the move tool, which is right next to the push pull tool, and I'm going to zoom in here. I have to make sure I can see where I'm clicking. I'm going to click this upper corner here, and then I'm going to zoom out again, and I'm going to kind of try to get this in the right place. Sometimes it doesn't always work with the first move, so sometimes it can take maybe 2 to 3 moves to kind of get it into the right place. I'm going to zoom this upper corner here, and maybe I'll try and align it, maybe something like this. I can also use my arrow tools here too to lock things down. Now I'm a little closer to where I want to be. I want this to come down just a little and then come over. I can double check this fit by going into the X-ray mode. So I'm going to go up to View, and I'm going to go down to face style and I'm going to click X-ray, and I'm just going to make sure that that's fitting in there well enough. Now I can see it's maybe not 100% perfect, so I might zoom in a little closer and just kind of pull this out a little. Now I'm set up so I can double check that this fit works. And to do that, I'm going to do what I did before. This time, I'm going to make sure I have this selected. I'm going to use the rotate tool. I'm going to click on the center, and then I'm going to zoom in here, get the midpoint in the group along this line, and I get that purple circle. So now I'm going to click, and I know it's okay to click, and I'm going to click the Option key, and I'm going to pull a copy, and I'm going to type in 30 degrees, just like I did before. And I'm going to sort of zoom in and see if that works, and that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to type times 11 and click enter. And now you really have an idea of what this could look like. You're telling SketchUp, I want you to move this profile again. I want you to make a copy and move it again 11 times in the exact same degree. And this looks pretty good. I can double check, just make sure that everything fits pretty well. It looks okay. There's maybe a few little things I might have to fix there. I might worry about that later, but it definitely gives me an idea of whether or not my pieces are going to fit. And at this point, what you can do is save this file again, but this time you're going to call it Lamp Assembled and put your name on it. So that's a really quick way to see, at least with the circle lamps, how things are going to fit.